Have you ever found that, and I ask because I've found in my practice, that individuals get so trained to being in that space, that fight or flight space, where people around them have been that toxic, if we want to use that word, but everyone is in that space, that constant fear space, that they get accustomed to that. And so the moment they get around individuals who are not in that space, who are in a much more, blended. So not full love, but not full fear, just like in a healthy emotional space.
Yeah, in homeostasis.
Yes. They almost feel uncomfortable and they don't know how to navigate around that. And so it almost becomes like, how do I stair step away from this environment where my nervous system is completely shot into a space where I can be around individuals who have a healthy emotional state? So do you have any tips that you would say, okay, how do I go from here to blending with a group over here?
Yeah.
So those little stair steps.
Yes,
or small steps.
I think it works both ways as well. And again, it starts with a decision, understanding that people are always afraid of what they don't understand. Full stop. People are always afraid of what they don't understand. And so I always prefer to speak from direct experience because that's all I know. I'm very open with my I love yous. I'm very generous with my I love yous. And for those who don't understand that when I tell you I love you, it doesn't mean I want to have sex with you. It is because my heart is expansive and fuck, I love you as a human being. Look at you. You're radiant and you're kind and you make me feel good. And then people will say, why do you spend so much time with him or with her? Is it because they make me feel good? My heart says yes. My body says yes. My nervous system says thank you. Why wouldn't I spend time with that person? Doesn't that make more sense? But people will say, oh, what would people think?
Yeah.
If you hang out with that person too much, what would people think if you're too generous with your I love yous? People are always afraid of what they don't understand. And so it must always start with a decision. And if their decision is, she's too nice, he's too nice, therefore they're crazy, they're batshit weird, their decision is, I'd rather go and hang out with these people, so, okay. Carry on. And on the other side, I also believe that when we want to influence someone, we also have to understand what influences them. And so if it's not a if it's not a match, just everything is vibration and frequency, right? So if it's not a vibratory match, understanding that if we are vibrating too high, the ones who are not vibrating at the level of acceptance and reason and gratitude and love, they're going to find it abrasive. It's like tuning into a radio station that your nervous system says, I don't want to listen to this music. I'd prefer to listen to, death metal. This classical love music is making me feel pain. And so they're not going to tune in, and therefore they're going to vibrate out of this space. And likewise, the ones who are vibrating at this frequency, it doesn't work. And that's as easily as I can explain it. But when the decision comes in and says, you know what? Living in this anger and this guilt and this judgment and this shame is no longer working for me. I am repelling all the goodness of life. I'm not attracting. I'm not magnetizing. I'm actually aware of it, but I'm going to decide now. The decision is there. Never underestimate the power of a decision, but it must always start with the decision. And that decision comes from awareness, and that decision comes from drawing a line in the sand and going, enough. This is not working for me anymore. And then they start to take action to raise their vibration higher. So it's my question that I always ask people when they start to defend the stories they've been telling themselves about themselves and believe, or defending their victim narrative, or defending whatever it is that they need to defend, because they might have to do some work. They might have to do some work to actually move, and they might have to do some consistent work that sustains a new level of life. When they've made that decision, it's all right, now you got to do the work.
And go into the uncomfortable.
Yeah. until it's comfortable. And then life gets fun. But we can't try to fix anyone who's not ready, right?
And so it's choice by choice by choice by choice by choice until you're there.
Yeah. One question I always ask for those who do always like to defend their story because, their lens of the world is the right lens. No, your lens of the world is your lens of the world. How's it working for you? And that question always goes, oh, how's it working for you? Is it actually, it's not. Okay. Want to do anything about that?
And that's truth. We all have the ability to change our lens whenever we choose.
Yes, that's the thing though. A lot of people don't realize that it is but a lens.
Mm-hmm.
But a lens. A lens of what? A lens. If you take those glasses off, try on a new pair of glasses. That's purely your lens. No, it's not. It's my reality. Exactly. It's your reality.
Yes.
It's not reality. It's certainly not my reality. But try these lenses on. How does that feel? And what about these lenses? How does that feel? And so the practice, the training, the work is try different lens on. See how it feels. And if once you get comfortable with that lens, put on another lens. See how that feels.